here today in Preston, Lancashire, where the John Tyndall Memorial meeting has just been held. It's been another roaring success here, in memory of the late leader of the British National Party and former chairman of the National Front, lifelong campaigner for race and nation, John Tindall. And I'm here joined by the organiser of this meeting and the editor of Heritage and Destiny magazine, Mark Cotterill. Mr. Cotterill, another successful event today. How did you think things went?
Yes, it went very well today, even though it was held on a Friday and we assumed the attendance would be less than the normal meetings which are held on Saturdays. The previous one 2 years ago we got about 130 at. I assumed we would get about 50 today. Actually we got just over 70, so I'm quite happy with that for a Friday afternoon meeting.
Yeah, now of course there have been since over the past few decades, there have been various nationalist parties, groups, movements. What was different about today's event? It wasn't representing a particular movement, so what was different about today?
Well, it was more so a non-party event. Most of the speakers this afternoon weren't linked to any political party at all. Some of them were linked to cultural groups or non-party groups like British Movement and Western Spring. I think we had we had two speakers from the National Front, but that was about it really. It was really about a movement, a nationalist movement going forward, not necessarily being linked to any political party.
Yeah, because disunity has been the plague of nationalism for many, many years. We didn't see any of that disunity today, quite the contrary, would you say?
No, everybody seemed to get on very well today, even people who had fallen out with each other in the past, including people who had fallen out with H&D, and H&D had fallen out with them. There seemed to be no hard feelings. We all got on well together. We can all vision what sort of future we want for this movement, for our country, for our race and nation. It's not backbiting and attacking each other, stabbing each other in the back. It's working with each other, even with people we may have disagreed with and fallen out with in the past.
And in contrast to some of the problems that nationalists have had over the past few years, no trouble today, either from the far left or from the authorities or any of that.
No, I was a little surprised. This is the first John Tindall meeting that Lancashire Police have not been involved in. The previous 4 or 5 meetings, they've always contacted me about it, questioned me about it, tried to find out what was happening. The previous venue, they put pressure on the owners of that venue, the 55th Club, not to host the meeting. For the first couple of years, they gave up for the most recent couple of years, because the 55th owners were quite hardcore in our favour. This venue has been a very nice venue, and I'm hoping we can use it again in the future.
So in short, you'd say that if 12 years on from his death, if John Tindall was still alive today, you think he'd be optimistic about the prospects and the potential for racial nationalism in Britain?
I probably wouldn't go that far. Probably not, sadly. Looking at the state of things, there is a potential there. I don't know if we can be optimistic about it. It doesn't look great at this moment, but things can change at short notice. What looks very grim now, next week may change, and it may come in our favour. Who knows? It's just staying strong, really. Staying strong, keeping the path, keeping the flag flying, year on year, week on week, basically.
I know you lived in the USA for several years until the authorities forced you out of that country. And when you were in the USA, would you, from an American perspective, would you ever have imagined that the Clinton machine could be beaten by a candidate of the so-called far right?
Not a candidate like Donald Trump. I must admit that took me by surprise. I thought a Buchanan-type candidate might get close, perhaps not win, but get on there. I was very surprised that a candidate such as Donald Trump won. I'm guessing it was because more of America hated Clinton than loved Trump.
So there's that feeling against multiracial liberalism in America across Europe.
Oh, it's there. It's there.
It's a matter of tapping it, would you say? Yeah.
It is. It is. I'm not sure if Trump is the man to tap it. I'm sure Trump will be a one-termer, and he'll be voted out at the next election in coming up to 3 years in November. But Trump's won, and you've got to respect him for that, and respect his team. It's just to see really what he does in the next 3 years, if it's anything positive for our cause.
So it's a question of where we go from here, and I suppose we must look forward to reading more about that in H&D and hearing more about it at future John Tyndall Memorial meetings.
Yes, I'm sure we will have another meeting next year, and next year probably be on a Saturday. Okay, well, thank you, Peter. It's good to speak to you.
Very good. Thanks
again. Okay.